Guys, I'm Lizzie. I'm a junior at Strawberry Crest High School this year. And growing up, I didn't really grow up in a church family. So I didn't really go to church until I was in 7th grade. My parents had just gotten back together from splitting up. And the whole church experience was new for me. So it's just like I didn't really understand how it all worked. And I didn't really get baptized I didn't really get baptized for real until earlier this year. And what I mean by for real is the first time I got baptized, I did it because I wanted to fit in. And at the time I didn't really understand like who God was and that he was there. So I didn't really put my faith in him because I didn't think that he was there because all this stuff was going on at the time. And my dad had had cancer. And we had been going to church for a while when that happened. And I didn't believe it. I didn't believe that if he could be such a great God, then why he would do it. And things got better eventually, and I struggled with depression for a really long time, and I'm still struggling with it. But I got to a point to where I didn't really think I was worth anything, and I had started self-harming and having thoughts about suicide. And so I started to put my identity in things like relationships and my friends, and I started to just do a whole bunch of stuff that I knew I shouldn't have been doing. And during the summer of my freshman year, I had just like been in a horrible place, and I had started talking to just like a whole bunch of people I didn't know, and my parents eventually found out, and I got my phone taken away and my computer and everything, and they decided that it was best if I got homeschooled for a year. So last year I did homeschooling, and I was really angry at my parents for doing it because I didn't think that I deserved it, when the whole time I was angry at God, which is why I was doing it, because I figured that I wasn't good enough, and that all the things that people were saying about him being such a great God and all the things I was hearing at church was just a lie, just to get people to follow him. And so I was angry at my parents and at God and ultimately myself, because I felt like I wasn't needed nor wanted. And during that year, I had time to get in touch with God, and as the year progressed, my depression started to lessen, though I still struggle with it now. And during this past summer, we went to summer camp, and the theme was identity. And that really struck a chord with me because during the following year, I had been struggling with my identity and putting it in a whole bunch of different things. So during that week, I was in a really dark place because some things had previously happened with me and my family, and I couldn't tell anybody. So I couldn't tell my friends that I really needed them because I was going through a lot. So I felt like I couldn't really talk to any of them because I couldn't tell them what was going on. And I met some people at camp who, even though I couldn't tell them what was going on, they were there, and they helped me, and I was able to get closer to some of the people within my youth group. And that's because I I was able to open up, and that was because I was able to make it, and I was able to understand that God was there even when I didn't think he was. I honestly don't think any of this would have happened if it hadn't have been for my parents finding out and me being saved during that year, because we were in Sunday night youth group one night, and our youth pastor was asking us to share our testimonies. And when it finally got to my turn, I told him I didn't quite have one, because when I got baptized, it wasn't because I believed in God, it was because I wanted to fit in. And so that night we prayed, and it was honestly one of the best things that could have happened, because since then I've been able to get more in touch with God, and I've been less doubtful about everything, and I've been able to see what God's doing in my life and know that no matter what I go through, and no matter how times can be bad, and no matter how much I may hate myself sometimes or be depressed, that God's there no matter what.